Preparing your business for a natural disaster. If you were to take away just one set of lessons from these series of videos on small business disaster preparation, it will be this. This doesn't need to cost much money. This doesn't need to take much time. And finally, the best disaster preparation makes your business stronger, whether the disaster ever happens or not. As a small business owner, you are constantly running on a shortage of time and money. Heck, it probably feels like you suffer a business disaster every couple of weeks, and twice on Tuesdays. Preparing for a natural disaster or a big emergency which may never happen? Well, who's got time and money for that? But see, that's the thing. You can and should commit to a small amount of time and a small amount of money, because the best emergency preparation makes your business better. Preparing for a disaster creates many positive effects for your business. In a disaster and in disaster preparation, there is an opportunity for your business. What kinds of opportunities, you may ask? Let's count the ways. Following a disaster, if you're one of the few businesses in your area up and running quickly, you can provide essential services at a key time when customers need it most. Think also of the extraordinary goodwill you may gain for rebuilding your community through self-sufficiency and supporting partners. Your employees, if you have any, also want to be a part of a solution in a disaster. By setting up your company to respond appropriately in advance, you model leadership in a crisis for your employees, building loyalty and trust. Setting up a communications plan with your employees and your customers in advance of emergency should give you and your key partners peace of mind. We've got another video in that series on just that topic. Storing your documents, backed up and protected both physically and in the cloud, sets you up to get up and running should anything happen to your records. Properly stored documents, available and reproducible, will prove valuable with or without a natural disaster or emergency. It's always a good idea to have electronic copies of your key financial and contractual business documents. It doesn't take a tornado or a flood to make fast access to your business documents a competitive edge. And also, we have a video on that topic too. Purchasing the right amounts and right kinds of insurance ahead of a disaster will financially protect your business against the unexpected. Even without a disaster, this makes you a better candidate for other financial services, like loans, that you may need in order to expand. We've got another video on that topic. Finally, planning for financial resilience before a disaster or after a disaster may create opportunities you haven't even thought of yet. A key tool for disaster planning is an open bank line of credit. In another video in this series, we talk about that essential tool that makes your business stronger. And yes, this will take a little bit of time, but very little. An hour a year, 2 hours maybe? You can afford 2 hours per year to prepare your business for a disaster. And yes, this may cost a little bit of money, but not much. Look, a whole industry exists to sell you disaster preparation services. In addition, a whole lot of government entities have set up checklists, webinars, websites, and booklets aimed at your business in the right moments. Yeah, you should look through those, or assign them to an employee who you designate as your disaster prep guru. But by no means do you need to spend too much time right now. The key is to understand that with just a little time and a little money, you can strengthen your business whether a disaster occurs or not. We hope that through this video, and the ones to follow, you can see that very little money up front will save you lots of money later. It may even save your business. Getting started. On emergency and disaster preparation, maybe you are wondering where exactly to start. You can start with some easy-to-access online resources from the federal government. Let's briefly talk about 4 of these. FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Association, has a free online 12-page booklet called Every Business Should Have a Plan. The booklet will prompt you as a business owner to think about the following ideas. Having a business continuity plan, including employees in your business disaster preparation. Discussing evacuation procedures for any employees with disabilities. Encouraging employees to set aside and maintain an emergency supply kit at home. Reviewing exits, shelters, and escape routes in case of tornado or fire. Making a commitment to annual reviews of procedures. Building an emergency communications plan with employees and customers. Reviewing insurance coverages. That's quite a bit to get you started. Now, if you've been at this for a while, you already have amazing procedures in place, and you wonder whether you've missed anything? A preparedness checklist from Preparedness LLC will prompt you to think of dozens, maybe hundreds of details about business emergency planning you could cover in advance. Third, if a disaster strikes, help will come from a combination of FEMA and the Small Business Administration, or SBA. SBA has sponsored a huge amount of web-based information at preparemybusiness.org, with everything from checklists to educational webinars. You could get pretty far using preparemybusiness.org. Finally, the website ready.gov has toolkits and videos in English and Spanish targeted at particular types of disaster preparation. Floods, hurricanes, earthquakes, power outages, you name it, they have an instructional video. They have you covered. So if you or your designated disaster guru want to do a deep dive, you'll find tremendous online resources, a lot of advanced level stuff. The point of this video, and the ones to follow, however, is to suggest starting with something even simpler than all of that, in 4 specific areas. Corresponding to 4 focused areas of preparation, we suggest 4 specific basic steps. Steps that you can afford in terms of time and money. Step 1. Make a communications plan. Review it during a 20-minute meeting with a few handouts. This can be done by you for free. Step 2. Make a document storage plan, backed up in the cloud. This has become surprisingly affordable in the last few years, even or especially for small businesses. Step 3. As soon as possible, build financial resilience by applying for a bank line of credit, a line that you do not plan to use, except in an emergency. This will cost you very little unless you use it. Step 4. Do a thorough commercial insurance review. You might have most of the insurance you need in place already, but it's a good idea to talk to a specialist and put a few companies in competition, in case you need to supplement what you already have. All 4 of those steps enhance your business, whether an emergency happens or not. Each of them can save your business if a disaster does happen. In the additional videos to follow in this series, we explore each of those 4 steps in more detail. They shouldn't cost you a lot of money, and they won't cost you much time.